Hey guys, what's up? It's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel, Olivia's Grad School Vlogs, where I share my experience as a media psychology graduate student at Penn State. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about maintaining a work-life balance as a graduate student. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why being a graduate student is kind of a unique time and having a work-life balance. I'm going to tell you the specific activities that my friends and I do that helps us keep a work-life balance, and then I'm going to talk to you about tips on how to maintain it and why it is important to actually have a social life in graduate school. Of course, every student's experience is going to be different. This is simply just my experience, having just completed my master's program at Penn State and now rolling into the PhD program there in the fall. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, tap the bell for notifications so you know when I upload a video, and comment down below a self-care activity or hobby that you engage in to help you keep a work-life balance. So graduate school is an interesting time because you're wearing a few different hats. You are a full-time student. You're also expected to join research labs and conduct research outside of the stuff you're doing for class. And then you also usually have an assistantship of some sort. So for my school, it's a lot of teaching assistantships, but there could also be an administrative assistantship, or you could be assigned to be someone's research assistant. So it's different because you're not expected to necessarily teach as much as the faculty or do as much research as the faculty, but you're still expected to have a hand in everything, and that can be a difficult thing to balance. I also want to mention that there might be certain busy times during your program, and you just have to expect this is going to happen. Sometimes you might have a 10 to 14 window during the semester where everything just happens to be due, and for those 10 to 14 days, you're not doing extra hangouts, you're not getting to see a bunch of people, it's just head down, work all the time. But hopefully that's not your entire graduate experience. And sometimes this could even be a semester. So I know the first semester of our program, all the students tell us, guys, this one is the worst, but if you can get through it, you'll be fine. I just think it's important to acknowledge that there might be little bits of time that are hectic and crazy, but that these are temporary, and that graduate school, there should be time to be able to do things other than school. So actually having a work-life balance, this is also going to depend on the individual student and what their priorities are. So my friend and I this year, our first year in the program was very hectic. We were signing up for every single project we were asked to be on. Our classes were really tough. We were adjusting to being in graduate school. And so this year we said, you know what, it's a priority for us to have a work-life balance, and so we only signed up for like one extra project at a time, working on our own stuff and going through classes. Meanwhile, we have a friend who we only saw once each semester because they were doing a full course load assistantship, and they were in 3 or 4 research labs, not to mention doing extra stuff on their own. So that person didn't sleep, doesn't really have the best work-life balance, but that's what works for him. We're different and said, you know what, this is actually important to us, and it's okay if we don't kill ourselves over trying to publish 1 billion research papers this year. I do think it's possible to have a work-life balance and still be a responsible graduate student who is contributing. Now, here are some things that my friend and I do specifically to ensure we have a work-life balance. We have a few things that we do weekly and a few things that we do monthly. So weekly, we sign up together for a Pilates class. So the gym classes at our school are free, and so we just book it a day ahead of time, and then we go and we know that we have that hour and a half. It's like a 45-minute class, but you know, you're with your friend the 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. We have that hour and a half where we're not worrying about classes. We can just hang out, exercise, get those happy endorphins going, and center ourselves. The Pilates is something that we did every week, no matter what. Even if it was a busy season, we said, no, this is important. The next thing we did, we tried to do it on a weekly basis, but this one did depend on how busy we were and our schedule, so we were flexible with it. We would try to hang out at least once a week after school in the evening. So either she would come over to my apartment or I would go over to her apartment. We would watch Bachelor, watch Catfish, or we would play with like her tarot cards and stuff. So once a week, when our schedules permitted, we also made sure to do that in the evenings. And then we each had our own weekly activity that we did. So I took ice skating lessons one night a week, and then I would usually at least twice a month go to one of the open skates on the weekend. And this was a time where I could go meet new people who I have things in common with outside of my program, get some exercise, learn a new skill, and again, just have some fun away from the books. My friend, one day a week, she volunteers at the pet shelter, and again, this is a time where she can go meet people outside of the department who also share interests, and she's worked at adoption places before, and so she really loves it. In terms of our monthly activities, we decided this year that once a month we were going to get out of state college. So these were usually day trips. We went to Ithaca, New York, which was about a 4-hour drive. We went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This next year we're going to try to take advantage of the state parks that are around us, just going out, going hiking for a morning, grabbing lunch, and then coming back into town. But what's really nice about these little day trips is that we get done with our work ahead of time so we can enjoy it, and it gives us something to look forward to each month. The other thing that we do once a month is try to actually go out, and during this we always do invite our larger friend group. Sometimes it works out where there's 6 or 8 of us, and sometimes it's still just me and my friend. And so this might be going to the cidery, or going to, she really likes drag queen shows, so we went to a drag show. So we like to try to find little events happening in town or places that we like and actually make an effort to go out once a month, and again, just have an evening where we can enjoy ourselves. Now, something very important if you actually want to maintain this work-life balance and have these activities in your life, you have to write them on the calendar and commit. Because in grad school, in life in general, there's always going to be things that come up where you say, oh, I should really be doing this, or I feel guilty taking this time off, or oh, you know what, I need to do laundry, I need to do X, Y, and Z. But having these times away from campus, doing something fun with your friends is very important for maintaining your humanness. Another thing that I've learned since having a shared office space with people is that sometimes people are going to come up and have conversations with you, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting so behind my work, I had my day perfectly structured out. But these little conversations are very important. Helps you feel like part of a community. Sometimes your friend just needs to vent. It's also polite to know hey, what are my friends doing? How are my friends doing? I should check in on them, etc. So that's something that I wasn't prepared for, but now I just build into my day an expectation where okay, if there's an hour where it's actually spent talking to people instead of doing work, then that is fine. My graduate school experience has been so much better than my undergraduate experience. In undergrad, I studied all the time. My extracurricular was being in a research lab, and then I'd work out every day. But that's about it. I always thought, oh, in the future I'll take classes at gyms. Oh, in the future I'll go explore and travel. Oh, in the future I'll go line dancing or go to this event. And what I've realized in graduate school is that life is happening now, and while yes, your priority is being a student and doing research and contributing and preparing yourself up for your dream job in the future, you're also living your life. You're making connections with people in a place where you might never live again, and so it is important to make the most of it. Going along those lines, there is time to date in graduate school as well. So that is my 2 cents on maintaining a work-life balance in graduate school and why it's important. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to tell us down below something that you do to help maintain your work-life balance. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, keep dreaming out loud, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!